Hadush Kebatu is back in Ethiopia, and because of that, we found out three things today. We found out, one, he was paid a £500 bribe not to kick off in the plane while he was being deported. Two, we found out that over 260 prisoners in the last 12 months it was recorded, and that is up to March this year, 262 prisoners were released from our prisons by mistake. And out of that 262, Prison Officer Association, they reckon it's between 20 and 30% of them have been foreign national offenders. That means that over one per week of people who predominantly shouldn't be here in the first place are freed from our prison services. And in the week where our Ethiopian friend was released by mistake, he was one of five. 5 people in the same week were released from our prisons by mistake. They weren't meant to. Now, I'm going to cover each of these three things during this video. So the first one is that Kebatu, now this is apparently quite normal. We offer people who we're deporting a bribe not to do anything naughty on the plane. Why not just rearrest them? Do you know what I mean? You're like, you break the law, we'll give you money if you don't, right? Another thing is, you're sending them out the country. They're going home. They kick off, let them deal with them, right? This is bonkers. So he was given 500 quid not to kick off an aeroplane while he's been deported. Please be a nice boy and go home. He was apparently threatening to start legal challenges against his deportation. Now, if we're giving him 500 quid to bin that, that's maybe not a bad idea, because it will save us 100 times that, right? Or 1,000 times anyway. So, it might not be a bad idea, but it is a bit stinky. Now, the other stat that came, this is just when I was looking into this story, and my jaw dropped. Government figures from the Ministry of Justice revealed 262 prisoners were erroneously released in the 12 months up to March 2025, which was a 128% increase on the year before it, when it was only 115. This equates to one error, and they're not just like burning the toast level error, right? Letting somebody out of jail by mistake every 33 hours. Every 33 hours, somebody gets, cheery by now, off you pop, right? By mistake. And it's on the increase. So people in that industry think when the new figures come out, it'll be north of 262 prisoners released erroneously in the 12 months. And one of the things that highlights it's getting worse, it came to light that the Prison Officers Association themselves reported 5 mistaken releases in the week that our Ethiopian friend got papped. That was like a week ago. There was 5 that week. It's bonkers, right? Sorry, that is 5 foreigners in the week. No 5 prisoners. 5 foreigners in a week. And they reckon the foreigners are 20 to 30% of the ones that are released by mistake. So the figures are heading north, and they're already at that. Now, again, the Prison Officers Association, because there's no government figures on this, so it's their guesstimate that the 20 to 30% of those released are what they call FNOs, foreign national offenders, right? Folk are no doubt to get deported at the end of their sentence. And they say it's between 20 and 30%. Now, this is bonkers, right? Because there'll be some of them that are just released early because they're prisoners, right? And there's some of them that are getting released when their time's up, when they should be getting handed over for deportation. That's why they reckon, I think the prison population's like 16% or something. But the ones released early is higher than that, because some of them are released early by mistake, and some are erroneous releases, and some have done their time but should be handed over to get deported. So the foreign ones can get 2 chances of getting released early, right? Oh my word. So these figures are heading north. Now there's some frightening cases in here. So you've got the boy that I've just spoke about, the Ethiopian, Hadush Kebatu. He was in October this year. In August this year, there was an Albanian drug trafficker. He got released early for Belmarsh due to sentence miscalculation. He was actually wanted for Class A supply. They must have thought it was something else and let him out. Now, to be fair, they did eventually find him and they deported him to Albania. In June, there was a Romanian burglar, not just a normal guy stealing tellies and stuff, proper high value theft ring going on here, right? He got released from Pentonville by mistake. It was part of an EU-wide crime network. He was quite a serious prisoner. And this manhunt for him led to a London raid, and he was eventually returned to custody, then deported. It was apparently a systematic IT failure that let this guy out, right? In April of this year, there was a Nigerian fraudster. He got let out of Wormwood Scrubs by mistake. Remember we had the overcrowding purge? He was part of a £500,000 scam and got released by mistake. He wasn't to get out early. But when they were, had the overcrowding stuff, and yeah, he was one of them, and he absconded for 3 days. He would eventually get rearrested, attempting to board the flight at an airport. I think it was Heathrow. In February of this year, there was a Jamaican violent offender, a mistake at Brixton Prison. He was an assault convict, and he was due for Jamaican removal. He was eventually recalled after a public tip-off, and the case was used in Lammy's early tenure pledges about FNO audits, right? But that was in February, and we're still letting them out by mistake. And there's apparently been 15 in that 12 month, but not the last 12 months, right? The 12 months up to March, there was 15 really high profile ones, serious foreign criminals that were let out of the figure. Now, if you take the figure as 262, and you take the prison office, the Prison Officers Association estimate of 20 to 30%, that is somewhere between 50 and 80, and getting worse. Behind me is Glasgow Sheriff Court, one of Europe's busiest courts, and because of that fact, we'll see every week several members of the public and podcasters, etc., facing trials in here for a number of things. However, an increasing number are for posts on social media, videos on YouTube, etc., etc., etc. And for that reason and that reason alone, I believe it would make sense for everybody who does podcasts as a minimum to join the Free Speech Union, because they will help protect you when the law turns on you. That doesn't give you carte blanche to say what you want as a member, but it does give you the protection to help you when the law goes wrong. This is not now only something that should be considered by podcasters, because we are seeing more and more people each day arrested. Normal people who don't even see themselves as civilian journalists, arrested for posts on social media. So it makes sense to join the Free Speech Union, because we live in this country in 2025. About 100? I don't know, right? Because the new figures are not about till March 2026. And that is foreign people who many should be getting deported. Many probably shouldn't be here in the first place. And there was 37 under the SDS40 scheme, whatever that is, in September, who were released early. 37, mostly non-violent. That was for like Wandsworth and stuff. Unbelievable. And then there was another one released early, William Fernandez. way back in March 2021, this one. That's probably the scariest one. He was in Wormwood Scrubs. He was awaiting trial for a sexual assault. Let him go. Released. Off you pop. Now, thankfully, they got him again, but I don't think they caught him absconding. They caught him committing another crime. It's just absolutely bonkers. This country is an absolute shambles. If you want others to see this video, click the thumbs up, put your comments below, hit the share button. See if you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. And if you are subscribed, double check, because some people are finding that they're not. Just hit the subscribe button thing. But more important than all that, see, unless you're the type of people that are in charge of looking after some seriously bad men, predominantly men, right? And a lot of them foreign, right? Unless that's your job and you kind of make mistakes like letting 262 out early by mistake, then no you. But everyone else, have a great day. Cheery bye now.